Sophie Grégoire Trudeau with Concordia University student delegates of the Women Entrepreneurship (WE) initiative. Agnieszka says the vibrant city of Montreal burst with themes of innovation, entrepreneurship, leadership and creativity for tomorrow at its annual business conference, C2 Montreal. You can't help but think of the bigger picture. Your skills, what you're doing today, where you're going tomorrow, along with your job, how you'll get there, will your job still be there or how to identify which new ones will emerge and what it all means. A lot of thought candy. While business innovators, entrepreneurial science, social game changers and industry experts spoke about topics such as up-leveling your digital skills amidst a creative vibrant venue. For example, each morning participants had the opportunity to try out goat yoga. Yes, it's a thing. Creativity and inspiration illuminated the forum. During her keynote talk, Sophie Grégoire Trudeau, gender equality activist and speaker, explained, "In the end, where we come from and what we have lived in our past is never ever as strong as what we have within ourselves. I always drink from a cup of tea or coffee in the morning that says, being an artist is like being yourself for a living. We have to continue to foster creativity. The way that we invest in ourselves as creative human beings and invest in our unique potential is a way to innovate. We should never see creativity as an expense, but as an investment. The more creativity we foster within ourselves, innovation and progress will also follow." Sophie Grégoire Trudeau. Robert Frank, The Economist, said, "What we think of ourselves now will determine what we aspire to become. As somebody who suffered from an eating disorder in my teenager years and as a young adult, as soon as I shared my story, everything changed. It was a difficult decision to make and I was working in television. The minute we start sharing our stories of struggles, we understand that we are all linked through those struggles. The more opportunities we have to take perspective from this chaotic, fast-paced moving world. The more opportunity we have to know ourselves and gain respect, which I think is the gift of life. In turn, by fostering equality within ourselves," she says, "we gift ourselves the gift of also slowing down." Ask yourself right now to go beyond your identity. Are you a parent, a teacher, an entrepreneur? We use the word mindfulness. How about mind emptiness to take perspective? Not because there's nothing in the mind but because we all need to take a break to come back to our true selves. Backstage at C2, I spoke exclusively with Trudeau about this mind emptiness concept and creating this space, something she's achieved through yoga, meditation and silence, especially by being in nature to work with her breathing to calm her nervous system. It's been a gift. I think there's more and more awareness on mental well-being. There's a rise in awareness when it comes to connection to oneself. I think people are more and more open to it, the need for connection. Chaotic life, incessant rhythm, never getting a break, trying to reach both ends, people are having breakdowns. Mental health is a huge issue in this society. I think it's the #1 hospital expenditure in the country here in Canada. So, instead of staying so busy with racing minds and incessant texts and an overflowing inbox, Trudeau advises to empty that mind and remove identities to simply be rather than do. We use the word mindful. I find it funny because our mind is always in, it's driving us crazy. Sophie Grégoire Trudeau, so to be able to empty the mind to, for a moment, she says, where you're no longer a mother, no longer an entrepreneur, no longer someone who struggles, no longer someone who's mentally unhealthy, no longer somebody who's been awarded so many medals because you're an Olympic athlete, it can be quite liberating. Take away all those identities and who is left. It's a work in progress that is a gift. And we need to talk about it. The more people you meet from all walks of life, the more you find similarities. We suffer because we want to be loved and understood for who we are, but the only antidote is to love and understand ourselves. But we're not taught to dig deep, whether it's in the school system. It's not something that comes naturally in our culture and it's a huge price to pay. This connection reminds me of Brené Brown's TED Talk about the power of vulnerability and ultimately humanity. And regarding slowing down, research has shown being super busy and multitasking can be detrimental to cognitive performance. Once we slow down, the phones actually shut off. Sure, there could be a sense of anxiety, but there can also be an added sense of stillness, simplicity, calm, inner focus. As author Chris Bailey describes in his book, Hyperfocus, How to Be More Productive in a World of Distraction, scatter focus is key to shutting down your mind and letting your thoughts roam, thereby enabling productivity. Glenn Wilson, former visiting professor of psychology at Gresham College, London, dubbed it infomania. His research showed that when you try to concentrate on a task and an unopened email sits in your inbox, your effective IQ can be reduced by 10 points. Another researcher, Russ Poldarek, discovered that learning information while multitasking can cause new information to go to the wrong part of the brain. Suffice it to say, we can probably agree, there are too many distractions, too much, and it's hard to shut down. And while that's IQ and cognitive functioning, EQ is important, too, not only emotional intelligence towards others but also ourselves, by taking scatter focus and infomania to the next level, truly getting still, not only by being still and doing nothing once you get there, but by looking inward. This individual quest for true being is actually contagious, and when you start on this path, you meet allies along the way. We all thrive for a connection, we all thrive for better being, and we will not let negativity and fear take over, because the future of this humanity depends on us connecting. Sophie Grégoire Trudeau continued, when you ask a person how they are, we respond so quickly we don't go in depth, but almost all human beings, even 99.9% of the people, would want to be in a better place. That is our natural predisposition, so knowing that humans are meant to want to contribute to their well-being, could you imagine if everybody knew this as a truth? We'd have a different society and a different world. So we have to fight against the divisive forces to be fearful of that nature of wanting